So the other day I find out my crush Kristen is married. I'm sad for a moment. Then I get frustrated and I start to think, why didn't you tell me you had a significant other when I met you 6 years ago, Kristen? That's really something you should tell someone before they spend the next 6 years liking you more and more and more every day. Because if you had told me that 6 years ago instead of leaving me in the dark and blocking me everywhere, I could have walked away no problem back then. And now 6 years later, this is a huge devastating problem that's impossible to walk away from. And not only that, a few years ago, I had a really great chance with someone that was my age. She lived in the house near me, single for 6 months, and I never talked to her because I was so focused on you, and I lost out on it. So thanks a lot, Kristen. You owe me the biggest apology in the world for not telling me things you should have. You know, you wasted 6 years of my life, but it's actually a lot worse than that, as this crush started 14 years ago. But 6 years ago, I finally met you. I'd like to say you're so stunningly beautiful that I should be glad I actually got to talk to you at all whatsoever, and that you don't exist and walk away, but I can't because I want to hear you apologize to me first and tell me why you did something so bad to me, because this hurt me really bad. You have caused me nothing but heartache and months of tears since the day I met you. So then in the 4 hours of sleep I managed over the next week, when I was not beating the hell of myself over this and feeling terrible, I had this horrible dream, and this is exactly how I feel about this whole thing. I was in 10th grade. I had a class at the end of a really long hallway. About 2 weeks into the 9th semester, I noticed a girl in the classroom next door, and I instantly had a crush on her for weeks. I could not find her anywhere, but she was always in the room next door. I never saw her in the hallway or anywhere else in the school, and I was afraid I was going to get in trouble if I walked in the room next door to talk to her, since the teacher in that classroom was really mean. There was doors in the back of each classroom and a hallway that went to the office. I saw her sitting at a desk just outside the back door to my classroom, and I knew this was my chance to talk to her. So I walked up to her and said, "Can I be your friend?" She really didn't know what to say, so we kind of went on our ways, and school's over for the day, and I'm walking out the door to walk home since I live close, and I hear her voice calling me, and she said, "I'll be your friend. Here's my number, call me tonight." And she got on her bus and left. So I called her, and we became best friends. So she comes over on Saturday to hang out with me, and we both said that it was the most fun we had ever had in our entire lives. So she came over to be with me all the time. So every day before class, my friend comes out to say hi to me and gives me a hug, and everyone in my class says to me, "Is that your girlfriend? You're in love with her." But I just ignore them. But something I noticed since day one was the rash and scars on her arms, and it never bothered me because she was the sweetest, nicest person I ever met, and she was so beautiful. But I still wondered what happened to her, and I was not going to ask her out of respect about what happened to her. So the one day she said, "I need to tell you this. I think you've noticed my arms. I had childhood cancer," and the way she sounded, it sounded like it really bothered her, and she told me they said there's a pretty good chance it could come back. So I hugged her and wouldn't let go for over an hour. And during that period, she told me that not a single person ever approached her and asked to be her friend like that. And I told her, "You're the most beautiful person I ever met. And you're the sweetest, nicest person I've ever met in my life. I'd never dislike you because of the way your arms look. And I'll always be here for you no matter what happens." We now spend as much time as we can together and cherish every second of it. And she taught me how fragile life is and to enjoy it as much as you can. So we graduated and I married my best friend just a few months later. She means everything in the world to me, and I'm scared to death she's going to get sick again. A year or two goes by and I'm enjoying life with my best friend. We planned a Saturday hike together. All week we are looking forward to walking in the woods together and having fun. On the morning of the hike, she wakes up and says, "I don't feel right." So instead of our hike, we went to the doctor. We didn't think much of it. Doctor sees her and says it's back. I just grab her and we cried together. And after the test, she had it everywhere. And they said treatment is not going to do anything. And after a couple weeks, I lost my best friend. The house is so quiet now, and every day I wake up without my best friend by my side. And I don't know what I'm going to do anymore.